Greetings, beautiful people. My name is Simon Javan Okelo. I am the founder and the CEO of Madaraka Festival, and also your host for Madaraka Festival podcast here on YouTube. Today I'm really privileged to be joined here by one of the most incredible musicians here in Seattle, Kellie Rose. How are you?
I'm doing so well.
Excellent, excellent.
How
excellent.
are you?
I'm doing great. I'm really happy that you made the time to join me for today's conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. I know you because of the music that you do and the way that you take your craft seriously, and that's part of what drew me to invite you for this conversation. And a lot of the time when people see artists like you, whether you're on stage performing, whether you are on social media, they just see that side of you, but they don't know that Kellie Rose came from somewhere, And so I want you to take us back, take us back to maybe when you're 5 to 10 years old. Share with us a reflection of some of the smells you grew up with, some of the foods, some of the flowers or the colors that you grew up with, and also some of the sounds, the music that you listened to, and how all of this together inspired who you are today.
Oh, what a great question. Thank you for that question.
Of course.
I grew up with so much music. I'm the youngest in a family of 6, and ever since I can remember, I've loved music and written songs. And I've written songs to make sense of myself and the world and the things that I don't understand. I've always been a fan of putting pen to paper. When I think about the actual music I listen to, a lot of Rat Pack movies from my dad. I remember that Beatles album, the red one, was just on repeat. We ended up having to buy a new CD because we played it so much in the car.
It's crashed.
It was. It totally was. Lots of Paul Simon. And then when I got a little bit older, I discovered this music that resonated with me so much. Like I said, being the youngest in the family, it was all kind of filtered down to me. So my father, who kind of enjoyed that croony music, versus my mom, who was more into gospel, it all filtered down with my siblings. And then I discovered punk music and Dr. Dre. Discovering Dr. Dre changed my entire life. That music, the production, it blew my mind. It expanded everything. It was just so different. It was so diverse. And I've seen in my pursuit of music, I've always been pushed to choose a genre. And
I've felt that too as an artist. Who chooses that?
Yeah. Do you eat the same food every day?
No. Yeah, and the thing is, also the people who are pushing you to choose a genre are people who have never even produced a single,
Yeah, I'm like, what? That's like planning out your entire outfits for the entire week or something on Monday. I don't know how I'm gonna feel. Yeah. And we're humans. We're fallible and we change and we're dynamic and we're interesting and we flow and sometimes we don't flow. And music is the same way. Yeah. I've really been leaning into the blues lately, and it's almost the same feeling as when I discovered Dr. Dre, of like this like homecoming to myself of this type of music that it resonates so deeply for me. I find myself making, that like stank face that you make when you're listening to really good music or when you eat really good food and you're like, oh yeah, this is it. That's how I feel listening to the blues. Yeah. And it's constantly shaping my music. It's constantly having me write songs that I don't think are put in any sort of category. I don't see the point in putting any sort of music into a category. It's just like food. If it's good, it's good. Do you really care where it's from or who made it or where it was grown? Like, if it's good, it's good. And I feel that way with music.
Yeah, I agree. When you're speaking of Dr. Dre, I'm thinking of Snoop Dogg. He has a reggae album. He's doing all
Andre
sorts of
3000.
things.
Didn't he have like a whole flute album?
Yes,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's freedom.
It is freedom.
Music is freedom, and I also think music is freedom to the extent that even if someone is not speaking or singing in the right tone. or is not going with the music, they should just express themselves.
Yeah.
Because it's really, growing up in Kenya, I first got into music through the church. You know, we used to go to a church that was not far from home, and there was no music instrument. People were just clapping, you know, and someone is singing and people are clapping and everybody is singing, you know. So someone sings, everybody responds. So I grew up with
how cool
question and answer kind of singing. You know?
Yeah, the call and return.
Yeah. Like if you listen to my songs, you know, I have a song called Onge Ringo. And so
will you sing some of it?
Onge Ringo, and then you reply Ringo Onge.
Ringo onge.
Yeah, so I say onge ringo, and then you say ringo onge.
Yeah.
Onge ringo. Ringo onge.
Yeah, I love that.
So what we are saying is there's no running. And what you are saying is affirming to me that there's no running for sure. Like there's no giving up.
No.
This is like a battle song where you're like, let's go, we can't stop. It's time for us to go ahead no matter what, you know? And so growing up in that environment and then getting to the world of social media, coming to the States where every aspect of an artist's life is being put in a box.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be a rock artist.
Has to be marketable.
You have to be a country. Yes.
You have to be able to take it and advertise it.
Yeah.
I've dealt with that so long. I mean, I look a certain way. So then it's like, oh, you must sound like this or not understand these things or dress in this certain way. And it's frustrating, but it's also, I mean,
it's part of
it's just part of it.
It is what it is.
It is
even
what
the
it is.
Grammys. I've been a voting member for years, and the Grammy also actually perpetuates this concept where you have to be in this category. You have to submit your project under this category, you know, and so anyway, it is what it is. For me, I believe that artists are like healers, singers are like healers, you know.
That is crazy. That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like I have been given this divine gift, call it God, call it the universe, call it, I don't care what you call it.
Yeah.
But it's a divine ability. And the more I use it to heal people or help other people feel understood, or I've been doing this thing more and more, where I meet with someone who's not a musician by any means, but they have a story. I met with a woman going through cancer. I met with a woman whose mom died due to depression. I've been meeting these different people, and I invite them into my home, and I get them a drink, and I get them a snack, and I listen to their story, and I write out keywords that either they say or that come to me, and then within about an hour and a half, I write a song for them. And I don't advertise it a lot because it's not something I'm looking to build as a business. It's just my way of contributing back because I've been able to find success as a musician. So being able to just gift people songs, like their own song, their own theme song, their own fight song, their own story, their own melodic sequence of resilience. It's been such a special thing. Pursuing music is this never-ending battle in a way, but you kind of rise above every once in a while and realize, oh, I'm so lucky to do this. Yeah. I'm so grateful that I get to sing songs, that I get to gift people music, that I get to go on stage and make people laugh and dance and play, and then using my platform too to further the conversation on mental fitness has really transformed my career. I've said, you know, I was a full-time artist before COVID, and then COVID happened. And it rocked my world, as it did for everyone. But coming back into music after experiencing that, I really found that it is way more satisfying to build a career that highlights my audience and my community and makes people feel things than it is to have the look at me type attitude toward building a career. And I offer that wisdom to my fellow artists too. I had a buddy call me about trying to sell tickets, and he's trying to figure out how to make it happen, and what does he do, and how does he advertise? And I'm like, bro, you're making it about you, respectfully. What are you doing for these people? Because a couple hundred people, that's not very many people. So what are you doing to honor them and touch them and meet them and have them feel seen? That was one of the first write-ups I ever had that really, I felt so seen, because the writer titled the article "Music to be Seen By." That when you see Kellie Rose, like, you leave and you're not like, oh yeah, Kellie Rose is the best. It's more like, wow, I just saw Kellie Rose and now I'm rediscovering this part about myself, and I want to help other people feel seen. And that probably stems from points in my life where I have not felt seen. But music has that ability to do that. It's part of why I'm so grateful to do it. It's a beautiful gift that we have. It's a beautiful thing that we get to do, and we do get to do it.
Yeah, you have to get to do it, because nobody will do it for you. Music is one of those things, like many other things, but music particularly, you have to draw deeply from a spiritual place, from a well that you're the only one who can reach, you know. Even if you have all the budgets and then a big team, you still have to go there. Even
you can tell when you watch an artist who doesn't feel it, or you listen to a song and there isn't that soul. I mean, I'm one of the most dramatic, emotional people I know. And you can hear it in my music. I have so much emotion. I have a lot of feelings, and I put that into my music. And I think that's why people feel met when they listen, or that's why people feel met when they see me perform.
Speak about your musical career, really where it began, and also speak about a story of where you felt like, you know, let me just find a job.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then how things are now.
I've been in the entertainment industry since I was very young. I started out making commercials and industrials when I was like 8. I did theater productions. I loved performing. I'm such a thespian. I'm such a performer. And then it got a little bit more serious when I was 12 or 13. I worked for Radio Disney when I lived in Portland. And then I moved to England, and I was on a television show for BBC. And that was interesting because it was more big leagues type experience as far as the crew and the production and the money. And then I didn't really lean into it until I quit my corporate job in my early 20s to pursue it. And I didn't know what pursue music meant. I don't know if a lot of artists know what they're doing when they're pursuing music. But figuring out how to earn an income as an artist and not being afraid to talk about money, and figuring out I remember the day I found out people would pay me money to sing songs, and I'm like, hold on, what do you mean? What do you mean? And my first ever gig, I earned like $300, and I had to play for like 3 hours. I had no idea how I was going to be able to do it. And I remember finishing and getting my check, and something just like hold
something clicked.
On.
Yeah. When was this and where?
This was, I'll tell you exactly. I was bartending in Bellevue. I was doing it full time because I wanted the flexible schedule to be able to pursue music. And then I booked a coffee shop next to the bar I was bartending at. They didn't pay me anything. I was just like, can I please play? And they finally said yes. And I played, and then got the opportunity to play there again. A friend of mine saw that I had done that, asked for coverage for a gig, and that's how I got the gig. So they didn't even want me. I was like second tier option for the gig. And I played in Bothell. And then after that happened, I was just like, well, wait a minute. If I can earn this by doing this, how many times can I do that so that I don't have to bartend anymore? So within about, I would say like 8 or so months, I didn't have to bartend anymore because I was playing so many gigs. But that was really tricky, and it was before COVID. So like I mentioned earlier, I made it really about me. I didn't know what to do with the platform that I was building, if I'm being honest. And I don't know how good of a job I was doing. And then when it all just disappeared one day, March 12th, I remember being my last ever gig. Not last ever, and with COVID, I mean, it rocked my world. I have no shame in telling you, I went from living in a 2-story townhouse in downtown Bellevue to my parents' RV on their property in Centralia, Washington. Like, I went from crushing it, I'm in the studio, I'm doing all these gigs, I'm meeting all these different people, to just nothing. And it was like, okay, I'll wait 2 weeks. Okay, wait 2 weeks. And then that was COVID. And what I ended up doing, because I've always been an entrepreneur, is taking all of the skill sets that I had learned and being able to book gigs as far as networking and social media content creation and website design and all of these little things that I had to learn how to do to build my business before. I started doing that for other people. I learned about consulting, and I was like, wait, I can help other people do these things? Like, hold on, what do you mean? And that went really, really well, but I missed music. And then the world opened up, and in January of 23, I moved back to Bellevue, and I was like, I'm gonna try this one more time, but I wonder if I can do it differently. And I booked a gig, and then I booked a private party for like $1,000. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is one gig for the price of what used to be like 3+ gigs. How many of those can I get? And then I booked another private event that was $1,500, and then a corporate gig that was like $3,000. And then I'm like, hold on. You can work smarter and not harder. And the more I built my skill set for how long I play, for how I present myself online, for the gear that I have, for the way that I can show up as just a one-man band with my guitar and my loop stations, and I'm emceeing and I'm freestyling, and any song you can think of, I can probably figure out how to play it. I increased my value. I hear a lot of artists talking about wanting to make more money, and that's awesome. I'm here for everyone making more money. Increase your value.
Yeah, become innovative.
Become innovative.
Yeah. You also pivoted and looked at all these other skill sets that you have, and you're like, I have much more than just...
I can do more. Yeah. And so I should do more.
Yeah.
And if you see opportunity for growth, grow. And it's not always fun. It doesn't always feel great. You know, day 2 after leg day isn't the best day of the week, but it builds something within you. And I was asked recently, like, why do I have this like confidence? And I'm like, do I? But at the same time, I'm like, well, I'm confident because I'm competent.
Yeah, and you've been building it for long that you don't even think about it. Yeah.
I've been doing this for so long, and I'm really proud of it because I care so much. I show up early, I stay late, I listen, I help where I can. I'll pick up trash at the party. I'll show someone's guest where the bathroom is. I really care. I do a good job. And I think that's the biggest 180 prior to COVID. Prior to COVID,
You are a star.
I exemplified a victim mentality, if I'm being honest. And I don't want to hate on that girl because I love that girl and she lives in me, but who I am today, I don't have a victim mentality. And anytime I catch myself with those behaviors, I snap out of it because I'm not a victim, and it doesn't matter what I've been through. And I preach that in my online platform because everyone has a story, everyone has struggle, but what are you doing about it?
Also, what are you doing about your own story? Because a lot of the time, we spend so much time on other people's issues, you know? And even on social media, sometimes we spend a lot of time scrolling other people's stories and updates.
Yeah.
But what update do you have for yourself? Leave alone what you're putting out to the world. We first need to check in with ourselves, take care of ourselves before we take care of everything else.
I tell anyone and everyone I can to journal. And I don't mean like, you know, dear diary, this is what I did today. No, I use journaling as a tool to know myself and identify what I need to work on. And it has built such a strong relationship for me with myself. I know me. I know my crap. I know what I'm good at, and I have become pretty comfortable with it all. And I journal every day. And if I don't know what to journal about, I ask myself a question. What would make today really incredible? Who is someone that I can offer service to today? What is something I'm pretending not to know? And because I'm constantly working my own mental fitness, I show up better and I like me better. And I think that artists struggle with that a lot, where they have this natural ability and talent, but there's not a ton of self-love. But self-love is built. It's either taught, and I don't know about you, I wasn't really taught that, but you can build that. That's a buildable muscle.
You have to build it if you really want to thrive. Especially
not everyone's gonna like you. Not everyone likes me. Not everyone likes my music or what I have to say. But I like me, and I have patience for me, and I have grace for me. I mean, because I'm going to mess up. I have messed up, and I'm going to mess up, and I have to be there for me.
Yeah, I love that. What are some of your current projects that you're working on? Do you have an album now that is out? Do you have a single?
Oh my gosh.
And also, when you think about your entire career, what is maybe one of your songs or one of your performances that you can look back to and just say, this moment really catapulted me to now feeling like this is it for me. There's nothing else.
Oh my goodness. Well, first question, current projects. I released my first album December 2nd of this last year. And half of those songs I had created in the months prior. Half of those songs I had before COVID. So not getting rid of, but putting all that music just out into the world and releasing it was so cleansing. So anyone listening to this who needs the push to get it off your hard drive and out into the world, let me be the voice of reason.
I have an album that I literally need to
put it out
today.
This is why we're here. That's the only reason I came today, to tell you to put out that album. Because you have this gift and ability, and you have worked hard on honing this gift and ability. But it is not for you.
It's not for you.
It is not for you. You are able to do this because this is a natural, beautiful way that you can serve. And that's why we have this ability. I mean, that's why it's not satisfying doing it all alone and by yourself. Like, you want to show people, you want to sing to people, you want to serenade, you want to connect. And it's because we're supposed to use these natural gifts and talents to serve. That's the whole point. That's the most natural thing that we can do. That's nature. That's cyclical.
I love that.
Yeah. So I released this album. It's called Option A. It's multiple choice A. And it's 12 songs that are kind of all over the place in genre. Like I was saying, I'm like, screw your genre. What's a genre?
My debut album was like that too.
How many songs?
9 songs.
9 songs? I love it.
And this album, it's an Afro House album. After a lot of...
I love that.
A lot of feedback that, look, even if you're not going to focus on one genre, then create an album for one genre, you know?
My manager just had that feedback. He's like, you create any and all the music, but package them at least in a way that's digestible, you know? Like, if you go to an Italian restaurant and order a burger, that's weird. Don't do that. That's weird, you know? Like, eat Italian food if you go to an Italian restaurant, you know what I'm saying?
But it's expected for any artist who releases an album to have a mixed bag of genres in their first album. Just based on my own research.
Really?
I've researched a lot of artists.
Oh, thank God. So I did it the right way. Okay, cool.
Because it shows that you are actually, it's your first album. It needs to be imperfect, you know? Well, it doesn't have to be imperfect if you can perfect it. But I feel like if you know it all, then why are you doing it? You know? So anyway, I have 2 albums. I have a reggae album. It's coming up later in the year.
It's coming out this year?
I'm releasing 2 albums this year.
When?
The Afro House album is going to be ready in like a week. It's going to be public in a week. The reggae
What
album,
date? What? Tell us. What do you mean? Tell us.
No, I can't. You're not interviewing me. I'm interviewing you.
I want to know though.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Okay,
but
deal.
Before the end of this month, I'm releasing an Afro House album.
Okay.
9 songs.
I can't wait.
Yeah, then...
I can't dance well, but I like to dance.
Yeah.
So...
Well, you'll help me get other people to dance.
Yeah. I can. I'm a great hype man. I can definitely help with that.
Yeah.
And then the second album...
Before the end of the year. It's a reggae album. So I'm trying to use the kind of feedback you received. And I want to test because I feel that these are 2 genres that I'm strongest in, you know. And then one thing that you're doing that is very unique and will take you so many places and will make you a lot of money is this idea of being a solo act and being able to do so many things with your loop pedals and everything. I think that is something that, you know, I've seen so many street artists do that.
Yeah.
But now you're taking that streetness into boardrooms.
Yeah.
You're taking it to parties.
Yeah.
You know? So
I cover up my sleeve tattoos and, you know, then suddenly I'm corporate KR.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. I mean, I think too, because I can do it myself. I mean, in my defense, I'm not a great team player because I've been in entertainment. And when you grow up as an athlete, you're taught how to be a teammate. When you grow up as an entertainer, everyone auditions, one person gets the role. Everyone's in the competition, one person gets the prize. You know what I'm saying? Like I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah. It's very much the solo act. So there's pros and cons to that. Yeah. I struggle relinquishing control with a lot of things because, you know, I'm like, okay, I could hire someone to build my website, or I could spend a week learning how to do it, and now I can do it. And I could hire someone to produce my music, or I could put in the years necessary to learn how to produce music, and then I can do it. And I could hire someone to set up all of my equipment, or I could put in the time necessary and learn how to do it, and then I don't need anybody else. And it's not about not needing other people, but it is about having that self-reliance of, if no one else shows up,
you're good.
I'm good.
And it helps. Even if you hire somebody to do your website, you know how our website needs to be built, and you can give them feedback that this is how I want it, and this is how I built it, so I want you to do it better than me, you know? Yeah. Anyway, I want us to talk about Madaraka Festival. I've been doing this for 11 years. This is the 11th year of producing
Congratulations.
it. Thank you very much. I produced this music festival and used the money from it to run a music development program in East Africa, in Kenya, where I come from.
I want to go to Kenya.
We should go to Kenya.
We should go to Kenya.
Yeah.
We should do a show.
Well,
It'd be so fun.
if you're serious, you know, November we are doing this same festival in Kenya.
What do you mean? Am I serious? I've been manifesting an African safari my entire adult life.
I didn't notice
I have a sloth.
Yeah, like, that's great.
What do you?
Well, then we have to go and play for the elephants and the lions.
Come on, I'm in.
Yeah, so funny. Excellent. If you're in, then look at this camera and invite everybody to come to Madaraka Festival on August 30th, Pier 62.
Do you have plans on August 30th? Because Pier 62, right?
Yes.
Is having the Madaraka Festival. And it's going to be amazing. And this year, I need everyone who's in the crew, who's a Kellie Rose fan, who won't be at my show in LA, to come and represent the crew. The crew is KR+U, stands for kindness, respect, and understanding. So if you're in the crew and you're Seattle-based, please go to the festival. Eat the food, buy the drinks, support the artists, and take all of the pictures so that we can blast it on social media. Okay?
I love it. Okay. I love it. Also tell them to subscribe to Madaraka Festival on YouTube.
Yes. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Madaraka Festival on YouTube.
I love that. Now, I want you to share with everyone who is listening and watching our conversation how they can support you, where they can find your music.
Thank
you. If you want, you can look at that same camera.
Okay.
And just share with everybody where they can listen to your music, your next show, and how they can really support your craft.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. Support to me is getting involved with the KR+U. It's a nonprofit that I'm hoping to build to promote mental fitness. But if you're into Kellie Rose for the music, I released music under my name, Kellie Rose, KELLIEROSE. I have my album Option A that is available on streaming platforms, and I just released a song called Good Morning. It's kind of for the girlies to help us get ready in the morning. So.
Yeah, I love it. Girls take their time when they're getting ready in the morning.
We need a minute. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, I'll be ready in 20 minutes. No, I won't.
Yeah.
No, I won't.
I have a lot of friends who are Lyft and Uber drivers. They're like, if a girl texts you that I'm on my way.
Yeah, no, she's lying.
Minutes.
Yeah, she's lying. She loves you, but she's lying. She's lying to herself, really.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. So all the girls out there, don't keep Uber drivers and Lyft drivers waiting.
Yeah. Set an alarm, baby girl, sweetheart. Set an alarm.
Is that part of what is in your single?
No, the song. So I love freestyling, and I think I'm kind of funny. So when I am live performing, I'll see people and I'll start riffing songs or whatever, and I have a tendency to call my friends and just leave freestyle voicemails. So one morning I called my girlfriend, and it was just on speakerphone, and I was at my desk, and I just started singing this like, good morning, baby, get you cute out of bed. And I wrote this like little ditty for her. And then a couple months ago, I was in the studio and I just randomly thought of it. I posted on Instagram and I was like, is this the vibe for the girls? And all the girls were like, yeah, make that song and release it. So I ended up recording the whole thing, and the bridge is sort of the synopsis, which is all day and night you fought the good fight, but today is new. You get to choose who you want to be and what you want to do. And it's this idea that, I preach about mental fitness because I think that mental health feels like a diagnosis. Mental fitness feels like something you can work on. And every day is brand new, and it's an opportunity to be new and try, and I think that's a crazy gift.
I love it. Anything you want to speak about before you wrap up? Anything I didn't ask?
Thank you for asking. I don't think so. I just hope anyone watching this maybe feels inspired to pursue their dreams, but also in a way that is strategic. And I think being realistic is silly, but being strategic is important. And putting in the work to love yourself, to hone your craft, to add value, and do it in a way that's sustainable.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for gifting people the gift of music.
Yeah, you too. What do you mean?
I just love that. I love how you're actually doing it intentionally, where you're creating music for people. You should invite me one of these days.
I would have
and make a song
loved to write a song for you. Are you kidding?
I can't wait.
I'm down. We'll schedule it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for joining us for today's conversation with Kellie Rose, who is an incredible musician. And, Kellie Rose shared with us so much about their journey, and I want you to watch this episode, leave your comment down below, and also give this video a thumbs up. That's one of the ways you can support Madaraka Festival. You can also subscribe to the channel. That's another big way that you can directly support what we are doing, whether it's in Kenya or here in Seattle. That's a quick way of really showing gratitude. So thank you. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Peace.
I can't wait for your albums.
Thank you.